Have you heard about Mercury retrograde? Are you interested in why it actually has such a big effect on us? Here we go. Hi, my name is Alana Kaivalia, and I can't wait to dive more into Mercury retrograde energy with you. This is so fascinating because it's something that has pervaded everyday life. People who even aren't interested in astrology talk about Mercury retrograde. People who are not interested in astrology blame things on Mercury being retrograde. Well, Mercury retrograde is a powerful energy, and it's something that we should really understand so that we can work with it when it happens, as opposed to having it work against us. We all know Mercury is a planet, but in astrology, Mercury indicates a certain type of energy. Mercury is our communication, how we speak to others, how others receive our communication. It also dominates writing, thought, ideas, any kind of data that we're compiling. Mercury is also the master of short-range travel. So think driving trips or short little mini flights to places. So we hear sometimes when Mercury is retrograde that flights get canceled, flights get delayed, there's lots of traffic. If you are traveling during a Mercury retrograde period, you're going to want to allow some extra time for any of these things to happen. Now, what is a retrograde period? It is when, from our perception here on Earth, it looks as if the planet in the sky is moving in the wrong direction. It's not. Astronomically speaking, it's just a period of time where the Earth is moving past the planet, so from our perspective, it looks that the planet is moving backwards. It's still going in the same direction. But as ancient astrologers looked at the sky and looked for patterns of behavior that corresponded with the movements of the heavens, they noticed that when the planets appear to go backwards in the sky, our energy here on Earth gets a little bit stuck. Now, this isn't all bad. I know that in our type A modern day reality, we want things to move quickly, we want things to go smoothly, but it's life. It doesn't always happen that way. And it's actually good sometimes for us to stop, pause, and slow down. So if you think about that in terms of the planet whose energy is dominated by communication, data gathering, short-range travel, that energy is all getting a moment to stop, pause, slow down. So any planet who moves into a retrograde period is asking us to become a little bit more mindful and introspective in terms of that planet's energy. Mercury actually goes retrograde about 3 times a year for about 3 weeks each. This gives us 3 times during the year that we can be more careful with our words, that we can look and make sure whatever that we're saying is in alignment with our highest truth. Sometimes we get a little imbalanced. Sometimes life moves a little fast and we are not that considerate. We're not that introspective. This is a great time to really make sure everything you say is exactly what you mean. It's also a great time to check in with the people you're communicating to ensure that the words you're saying are landing in the way that you hope. Communication between humans is tricky, and people are always listening generally for what they want to hear. So this is an excellent time to check in with others to make sure they heard you correctly. If you are a data gatherer, if you are writing anything, sending any memos, making any contracts, or signing any contracts, you'll want to make sure that either you do it before or after a retrograde period. If it must be during a retrograde period, my suggestion is to take your time. Read the contract. Make sure it has everything you want it to say. And be careful when you sign it because it will have a very deep and lasting impact on you. So make your choices wisely. And again, if you are traveling during a retrograde period, give yourself some space. Instead of rushing last minute to the airport to catch your short little flight, give yourself some extra time to pause, maybe show up early, have a coffee before you get on the plane. Give yourself some space to allow for any Mercury retrograde upsets that could happen during your travel experiences. These are the biggest considerations for a Mercury retrograde period. You want to just take care. Technology can also be upset during Mercury retrograde, so back up your hard drives. Make sure your computer is in tip-top shape. And just watch everything that you do and every communication you're sending out to people, because retrograde is asking us to slow down and take a look inward. And again, that's true for any planet that appears to be going in the wrong direction in the sky. Now, the good news is Mercury retrograde only lasts 3 weeks. So we only have to take extra care and consideration for a short time. Hang in there. Support each other as you communicate clearly with your friends and family during this period. And get ready for the next one, because it's right around the corner.